Hey everyone, Julian here. Today we're going to be talking about how to make ski mask style Future Garage. To go along with this video, you can get the full project file, samples, MIDI, presets, everything that you just heard in the intro is available at the top of the description on my website for just $5. It's a really accessible and high quality template you can grab to make the best tracks of your life. Today, thank you so much for the support, everybody. It really helps, and it's really going to help you take your tracks to the next level and make something really great. I promise if you grab this, you'll be blown away by what you can do. Thank you so much for the support, everybody, and let's dive in. Alright, so we're at 135 BPM. First thing we got here is the lead. So you may recognize this lead. What this is doing here is it's actually triplets. So basically a big part of what makes this thing groove the way that it does is the fact that everything else is, you know, like this pretty chunky kind of like 16th note, skippy dubstep kind of pattern. And then you have this thing playing triplets, which is like not fitting into that at all. But yeah, and then the other thing is, like, I think really with this one, it's not that complicated musically. Like if you look at this, you know, it's really just like a few notes. Like it's literally just F, F sharp, C, C sharp, and then D sharp. Like very few notes, but it's the way that the notes are used rhythmically, where you start on a high one, then go low, and then you go and you're kind of like jumping. Like the way it jumps up to those high notes, it's like using those rhythmically. And I think that's really what this is about. It's more like a rhythm. It's like you pick a few notes and then try to make a catchy rhythm out of those notes. So then for the sound, it is actually quite complicated. So what we're starting with here, I'll actually turn everything off and just show you what the blank patch sounds like. So we're using analog and it sounds like this. So it's just one saw wave, actually. That's all it is. It's just one saw wave. The amp envelope, which is set like this. Now, this is a big part of it, actually. It's just setting that so it's got some attack, so it kind of like fades into the note like that. And when you get these da-na-na, since you have that attack, you hear it kind of like sweeping into the notes. It sounds good. That amp envelope is really a big part of it. Then we got a bit of vibrato, a bit of glide, and I've also got the unison, but it's not doing any detune, so if I turn it off. See how when I turn it on, it's just a bit fatter? And then we have a bit of overdrive. Just a little overdrive, blend it on there. We have this low pass filter. And see how that's kind of making it disappear a bit? So what's happening here is we've got it set about there, and we have the random LFO where it's like stepped, right? So it's jumping through different random settings on the filter. And that's a big part of the sound. It's this melody happening, and then you have this other rhythm over it. So then we have this phaser, as well as this LFO here. So the LFO is doing that same kind of random stepped movement. And you can see I have this on the center frequency of this phaser. So again, just even more movement like that. Where it's kind of random. And you start to combine these and you hear them like moving against each other. And that's what's really building up to the sound. We've got this phaser flanger, which has an LFO on the flange time. Another random one, you can see just adding some more like weird movements and texture. Bit of drum bus. So now you can hear these three, the phaser, the flanger, and then the LFO on the filter all moving together. And that drum bus really brings us out. Then we have a little grain delay. Right, kind of adding that like high note wash. We've got a bit of reverb. Okay, so then there's this auto pan. So what it's doing is it's doing half notes. It's not doing any panning because I have the phase on 0. But then what's happening is we're jumping between this normal and then inverted. So sometimes it's like sweeping the volume up and sometimes it's sweeping it down. Then we have a high pass filter. And then we have a limiter. Which is not actually doing any limiting. If you look right here, you can see it's not clipping into the limiter. But what it does is it just pushes this whole thing together, kind of compresses it a bit. It makes it feel a bit more like, you know, kind of sampled and full. So then we have the bass line. So it's actually a very simple bass line, right? We're really just grooving here. We're jumping between F sharp and G sharp. Right, that F sharp sits a very particular way with the lead. It's just picking like one or two notes like this that go well with that lead. If you're gonna have this, and it's gonna be all crazy jumping around, you need this to be really steady. And then it's really just that groove that don't. Right, that works together with the kick and snare and creates a really nice groove. For the actual sound, it's made with operator, so it's basically just this waveform where it's two sine waves, a bit of FM, right, a bit of like kind of pluckiness to those, detune as well. And then I have a bit of a pitch envelope on that, which you can hear that. And then we also have a low pass filter with an envelope as well as a hard shaper. If I turn that off, see, that's really like bringing it out and making it more full. Then we got this notch filter. Just moving around, kind of like drum and bass, neuro vibes. It gives it that like phasey thing. We got a bit of overdrive. Here's without it. And with it, it's just a little bit more fatness. Low pass filter moving around as well to kind of make this go underwater and then bring it back out. And then we're actually cutting the lows at 38 hertz, cutting out any muddy stuff that would kind of get in the way of the drums. So then we have these main drums. And really it starts with these two. So we have this big fat 909 kick. You can see I cut a bit of sub. And this rim shot, which has a little bit of reverb. And really just listen to the groove between these two. You know, on a very basic level, obviously there is all the crazy breakbeat stuff. There is the crazy lead. There is the bass line, all that. But the groove here is really just happening between these two elements. Like, you have to get these two grooving, and then all this other stuff can work. I just wanted to highlight that. Then we have these two kind of like rim shot. They're like enhancing it. So basically we have this rim hitting every 3. Right? And then you get like. So what it is it's taking break beats like this, right? I've slowed them down a little bit by pitching them down. And then just putting those with the snare so you get like, you know, some percussion kind of bouncing off of that rim shot. It's really simple, but it adds a great groove to this. And it really, like, fills out the drums, right? Like, if you have this whole thing without these, it's cool. But then if you add these in. Cool. So then we have, actually, our main break beats. So what's happening here is you can see we've got these 4 breakbeat chops kind of like playing with each other. So what's happening is they all play little pieces and then it creates like one whole loop. Like it starts with this one. Right, this is like chopped up inside of a drum rack here. Then it goes into this one. So yeah, that's creating a groove. And then we add in like this little piece. See, and then you get that little. And then that one goes into this. Right, so you put all these together and you're getting this nice little groove of like all these kind of just fitting into each other like this. It's not that hard. You just have to get chopping and don't have too much overlap. Like none of these really play too much at the same time. On the group there, we've just got a little bit of drum bus. You see it's only at 20%. Here's without it. With it. It's subtle. It doesn't overblow these with distortion. It just adds a little bit more fullness. Then we have a high pass filter. And yeah, then we have these filtered breakbeats. So you can see it's all these like kind of filtered percussions. So it starts with this. So this is actually a breakbeat. And then I've got a bandpass filter with that random stepped LFO. Moving that all around. Plus we've got some operator percussion. White noise with a bandpass filter and then an LFO on the bandpass filter, so it's being constantly moved around. A little bit of drum bus and some delay. And then this one. So this is this breakbeat chopped up. 16th note, volume shaping on it, high pass filter. And then random bandpass filter movements. And when you put all those together, it creates this really nice kind of skippy percussion that I hear in a lot of these Ski Mask tracks. And then we've got this sidechain to the kick. Then we've just got these reverse breaks. So these are actually breakbeats that are just reversed. You can see like right at the start of the groove. Kind of like going into those other breaks. And then we have this little ambient thing. So this is one of my recordings with the guitar pedals. I just took and I put it every 4 bars so you get like a nice little kind of like a pad over top of everything. So it's just going through a bit of erosion, a bandpass, reverb. I've got it sidechain and then a high pass at the end. And that's me for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets, everything from this video is available at the top of the description on my website. Definitely go grab that, guys. Don't miss out. While it's available, it's a great project file to really take your tracks to the next level and really make this style. I haven't seen anything like this on the market. So definitely go ahead, support your boy, and support yourself making the best music of your life. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.